Last month, a film was released called I Love Boosters, another masterpiece of communist surrealism from Boots Riley. The movie is exciting and hilarious, while keeping its themes and messages at the forefront of its text, to make sure it is engaging both visually and mentally. But if you are familiar with Boots Riley's work, then you know that that is nothing new. You may have seen his 2018 film Sorry to Bother You, or his 2023 miniseries I'm a Virgo, which both exemplified his worldview while world building a dreamlike Afro-Surrealist society that closely reflects our very own. But what many people may not realize is that the colorful worlds and ideas of Boots Riley's films are just an extension of the incredible music he has been making for over 30 years with his group, the Coup. But no matter what medium he's creating within, you can always count on Boots Riley to make sure that his message is in his art, because he believes that the people need a revolution, and art is one thing that can help make that happen. You see, Boots Riley was introduced to communism at 14 years old and soon became an organizer in his community, helping to inform people and create opportunity for people to come together for a common cause. When he was a student at Oakland High School, he organized a walkout of 2,000 students in protest when the school had cutbacks. He joined the International Committee Against Racism at just 14 and the Progressive Labor Party at 15. He has always been someone who takes action to help implement the ideas he has and to help make the change he wants to see. His dream was always to become a filmmaker, even going to film school for college. But he also realized pretty early on that he also had a natural ability for music as well. His dream was to make movies, but since it's hard to gather a few million to make a movie fresh out of film school, Boots realized that through his music, he could force people to watch his movies in their head through his music. He has stated that the goal of his art is to create a movement in which the working class can engage in class struggle and create a system in which the people democratically control the wealth that we create with our labor. And that idea is present throughout all of his music and his films later on. All of his art is about those ideas and is made to help inform the audience, but it never takes away from the enjoyment either. Sometimes you can listen to a conscious rapper and be bombarded with their ideas without being drawn into the music itself, but never with him. His music and movies all lead with a fun, high-quality aesthetic and energy, and then its big ideas seep through to linger with you for days after the fact. He formed the group The Coup with E-Rock in 1991, and their DJ Pam the Funktress joined the following year. Boots Riley was the main rapper while also writing and producing most of their work too. They were able to sign to Wild Pitch Records, riding the wave of a few other Oakland-based acts who were gaining popularity at the time, but they were a brand new act that the industry wasn't quite ready for. They were making Oakland hip-hop infused with an equal dose of funk and punk, bringing an energy and attitude that no other rap groups had at the time. They released the album Kill My Landlord in 1993, immediately separating themselves from their contemporaries with a more refined political stance and sound that was very funk-forward. The first words ever spoken on the Coup record are Presto, Read the Communist Manifesto, Gorillas in the Midst, a Guevaro named Ernesto. So from the very start, Boots Riley had a message and a mission. And by comparing himself to Che Guevara and imploring his listeners to read the Communist Manifesto, he was showing the world what they could expect from his art. Gil Scott-Heron's classic song, The Revolution Will Not Be Televised, is a totem of political music, and Boots Riley definitely falls in line of that lineage. But I would argue that Boots always made sure that he would televise the revolution as much as he could. Boots Riley never stopped putting in the work to make his revolutionary changes outside of the art, but through his art, through the television of his music and films, he was able to bring his messaging to more people and help the revolution grow larger. Funny enough, around this time, Boots Riley was approached to write and produce an album for Gil Scott-Heron, and he did. Gil Scott-Heron ended up not using it, so Boots was able to use those songs to become the second album from the Coup, called Genocide and Juice. After his second album, Boots had a bit of an artistic midlife crisis, and wasn't sure if music was the best use of his time anymore. He took a hiatus from the group to start up an organization called the Young Comrades, but he couldn't stay away for long, and after 4 years off, the Coup reunited, now just with Boots and Pam the Funktress, and they released Steal This album, inspired by Abby Hoffman's Steal This book from 1971. The cover of the album shows the Coup held back by the corporate industry they're involved in, literally behind bars, with those bars being the barcode that is needed to sell the album. So much of his work is anti-capitalist while operating within a capitalist industry, and it's always been very interesting to see how he navigates this dichotomy. And while Kill My Landlord is an incredible debut, and Genocide and Juice is a worthy follow-up, still this album levels up their artistry even more to be their best record to that point. Boots Riley never tries to preach for a goal within his art, he more so just tries to reflect the world he sees around him, and his values are so strong that they are always seen within that reflection. This album levels up his storytelling and his ability to create vivid scenes for each song. Throughout the 90s, the group was slowly gaining more and more popularity, with each of their records charting higher than the last, and with such strong political messaging, their work was always steeped in controversy. A music video for the song Taking These off of Genocide and Juice was banned and blacklisted from video publications for their depiction of the group bum-rushing Rockefeller Mansion and throwing the mayor's body in the bay. And their surrounding controversy would only get more heated on their fourth album. Party Music was released in November of 2001, but their intended album cover for this showed the group holding a bass tuner up to the World Trade Center and making it explode. Now they turned in this cover to their label in spring of 2001, a whole 6 months before the 9/11 attacks, and it was being advertised all throughout the summer with this cover. Their intention was to show how their music was able to destroy the capitalistic structures that America has in place. But obviously, after the attacks on the Twin Towers, their label made them change the cover to what it appears as now, showing a Molotov cocktail in a martini glass, showing how they are classying up their revolutionary weapons to sneak their messaging in one way or another. But despite the controversy surrounding the release of this album, the music itself is their clearest reflection of their mission so far. The album is their most succinct and most powerful, with each song feeling like a new anthem for the Coup's revolution, and still based in funk to stop down every few tracks for a groove to make sure it's not too heavy-handed. Their fifth album, Pick a Bigger Weapon, continued that run with an album that feels even more varied in its sound than the last. The song Laugh, Love, Fuck always felt like a thesis for the Coup experience, with Boots saying that he just wants to laugh, love, fuck, and drink liquor, and help the damn revolution come quicker, which pretty much sums up everything that he's all about. This album also has what's possibly the group's most known song, with the Black Thought and Talib Kweli assisted My Favorite Mutiny, and it also has a track called I Love Boosters, proving that Boots is always thinking ahead, with the themes and ideas of his latest movie being present in this song 20 years earlier. Then the sixth and final traditional album by the Coup was 2012's Sorry to Bother You, not to be confused with his 2018 film with that same name, or its accompanying soundtrack with that name as well. This album was made with the yet-to-be-made film in mind as inspiration, as Boots had finished his first draft of the screenplay before making this, and the album does feel like the final culmination of the Coup as a musical experience. This one is his least rap-heavy, but most thematically rich, feeling like a soundtrack in itself. It definitely is their most rock-inspired album, while still bringing that same sense of artistic freedom and playfulness that is present in all of their work. It has the song The Guillotine, which has always felt like possibly the most important song in the Coup's discography. They have always felt like the next evolution from the lineage of Public Enemy, And on this song, they really feel like they bring that same energy and passion as Chuck and Public Enemy did on Fight the Power. After 20 years of incredible West Coast underground hip-hop, Boots Riley and the Coup has built one of the most consistently impressive discographies, never compromising their message while still keeping true to hip-hop's roots with crowd-pleasing party records. But even though the musical run of Boots Riley and the Coup ends here, it doesn't mean that he would stop televising the revolution completely. In 2018, Boots Riley finally achieved his decades-long dream of releasing a feature film. Sorry to Bother You quickly became one of the most talked about movies of 2018, filled to the brim with Riley's views on capitalism, strikes, and society at large, and infused with a sense of dreamlike surrealism. And he followed that up with a one-season-long miniseries called I'm a Virgo, which kept things in Boots' familiar land of Oakland, filled with familiar characters with passions for organizing and fighting for change, while also being filled with superhumans and vigilantes to help put a spin on the same ideologies that he's been talking about in his works for the past 3 decades. And then most recently, he released I Love Boosters, a hyper-satirical look at the fashion industry while touching on those same familiar topics of consumerism, capitalism, and fighting for the working man, all while being one of the most highly stylized comedies of this decade. Art is so important because not only can it entertain, but also it can inform and change us. Art can start a revolution, and it's artists like Boots Riley who will stop at nothing to make sure that his art means something. Whether it's through his music, whether it be hip-hop, funk, or rock, or on TV or in a movie, Boots Riley will make some of the most thoughtful and thought-provoking art possible. And all the while it will be fun, funky, and will make you want to laugh, love, fuck, drink liquor, and help make the revolution come quicker. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know down in the comments, did you see I Love Boosters yet? And if you did, let me know your thoughts. I had a great movie theater experience watching that one. I've been wanting to make this video for a while since Boots really encompasses both sides of my interests with hip-hop and movies, so I had a lot of fun making this one. Let me know down in the comments who are some other artists you want to see me cover. As always, I want to give a special shout out to my patrons. Head over to patreon.com/DefGoldblum and join the tribe tier if you want to become a patron and support the channel. You also get all of my videos a few days early over there as well. Be on the lookout for a lot more headed your way over here on YouTube too, because I have a lot more coming your way, so stay tuned, stay safe, and stay def. Thanks for watching.